This portable power station is an absolute beast. It is impressive in a way that no other portable power station that I have tested is, and whether you're an overlander like us, or an RVer, van lifer, or you are just looking for a super robust portable power station for home battery backup, I believe that this may be the single most versatile and most useful portable power station that you can buy. So don't go anywhere, because in this video, I'm gonna explain exactly why. All right, and I should start by explaining what exactly we're looking at here. This is the Anker SOLIX F2000 portable power station. It has a total capacity of 2,048 watt hours and an AC output of 2,400 watts. And if you're new to portable power stations, all you really need to know is that is a lot, and this thing literally has power for days. All right, now in terms of the design of this power station, the first thing that you will notice, and there's just no getting around it, is that this is not a small power station, nor is it a light power station. In fact, this weighs in at around 67 pounds, and that is just a function of having a total capacity of over 2,000 watt hours. That means a lot of batteries, which means a lot of weight. So you may be wondering then, well, why do you keep calling it a portable power station if this is so big and so heavy? And it is because Anker SOLIX has made some pretty smart design choices with this, the first of which are these wheels, which function about like you would expect. They roll. But they have also included a handle, and it just pops out with the push of a button. They call it the Easy Tow handle, and it is just like what you would see on a roller bag or a piece of luggage. So between that and the wheels, it makes it a lot easier to move this thing around, at least if it's on relatively flat ground. And so while it does have handles and you can carry it that way, for someone like my wife, if she's moving this thing around at 67 pounds, she's gonna have to rely on those handles. Another design choice that I think is really smart, and I will admit when I first saw it, I thought it was going to be nothing but a gimmick, just like the light on my air compressor is a gimmick, but it turns out that is not true. That is this light that you see along the front. This is something that Anker SOLIX has done throughout their line of power stations, and it's a bit of a differentiator for them. Not a lot of the competition have this, and it has 3 brightness settings, and to my surprise, it actually throws out a lot of light, enough that in a dark room, it will illuminate the bulk of that room. Or for us, if we have this in the back of our Lexus in the cargo area while we're traveling, I can turn this light on and it will effectively illuminate the entire cargo area. So actually quite a usable feature. Just a quick note on build quality as well. Since I have been using this, it feels very sturdy, it feels very robust, it's nicely screwed together, it is aesthetically pleasing, and ultimately it feels like a premium product, which it should, because it carries a premium price tag. However, I have some really good news on that front as well, so stick around a little bit longer in this video and I'll share with you how you can save some money on an Anker SOLIX F2000. Now, let's move on to inputs and outputs. In terms of inputs, there are effectively 3 ways that you can charge this. The first is through AC power, like plugging it into a wall outlet in your house. And if you do that, this supports incredibly fast charging. I think Anker SOLIX claims that this will charge from about 0% to 100% in 2.5 hours. And based on my own testing, honestly, that seems about spot on. This thing charges really, really quickly. The second way that you can charge is through solar, and that is equally as impressive because this will accept up to 1,000 watts of solar charging. And so if you're off grid and you want to be able to charge this thing quickly and effectively and efficiently, you can do that through solar if you have enough solar to do that. And then the third and final way that most people are going to charge this is through like the 12-volt plug in your car. And that uses the same solar input on the back here, but then there's an adapter to plug it into your 12-volt. The downside of that is you're capped at, I think it's about 100 watts. So it's going to take a really long time to charge this that way, but you can at least gain some of that power back. But then again, you have so much power that you're probably not going to use it all anyway. I think that covers it for the inputs. All right, now moving along to outputs, and there are a lot of outputs on the front here, but let's just run through them really quickly. You have 4 AC outlets, which is great. So you've got plenty of outlets to power appliances or tools or plug in your laptop or anything like that. And then you have this, which is a 30 amp RV outlet. This is really interesting, and this is something that a lot of the competition does not have. But if you have an RV, or you are a van lifer, or you have a camper that has a 30 amp hookup, then you could theoretically power your entire camper or your entire RV off of this power station. So something to keep in mind that I haven't seen on a lot of other power stations. Moving along, we have 2 car sockets, which is also kind of interesting. I don't know that I've seen a power station that has 2, but this one does. And then we have our USBs. Now, another thing that I really like about this power station, and I've complained about this in other power stations that I've reviewed before, is that a lot of power stations either have no USB-Cs or they have like 1 USB-C. And it just seems to me that with everything going USB-C these days, if I was going to buy a portable power station, I would want to make sure that it is future-proofed, and that would mean having multiple USB-Cs. So we have 3 USB-Cs along the front here and 2 standard USBs. So overall, this thing has just about everything you need. If I have one gripe with the outputs is that there is no wireless charging along the top. This is something that some of the competition does have, and for Christine and I, we actually really like that. We use that a lot when we're traveling, just be able to slap our phones on the top of the power station and then just not have to worry about plugs, cords, things like that. But otherwise, this thing has just about everything you would want. Okay, so that's a look at a lot of the features of this, but when I opened this video, I made a pretty bold claim. I said that I believe this is the most capable and most versatile portable power station that you can buy. So let's look at why I say that. First of all, let's look at it from an overlander's perspective, because that is our primary use case. Putting this in our vehicle, driving deep out into the backcountry, and having a week or 2 or 3 off-grid exploring. And in that time, we need to make sure that our refrigerator is powered and all of our devices, our cameras, our phones, our drones, and our laptops are able to be powered throughout our trip. In the past, we have had serious issues with that with other power stations. We've had times where we have had to take our power station and our refrigerator into the hotel room after a couple days to charge it all back up because it was about to die. With a total capacity of over 2,000 watt hours, this thing will power all of our devices and our fridge for a very long time. In fact, one of the first tests that I put any power station through is I hook it up to our portable refrigerator through DC power, and I see how long it will run. And some power stations run it for 2 days, and some power stations run it for 4 days. And when I did that with this, I realized very quickly that I didn't have enough time for that test. Because based on what I saw after a day, it looked like it was going to take about a week to kill this battery plugged into our fridge. And so what did I do instead? Well, I plugged it into our home refrigerator, and that leads me nicely into my next point about versatility. Not only is this an amazing option for long-term adventure travel, but it is also powerful enough to make for a great battery backup solution for your home. When I plugged this into our refrigerator, I let it run for about 12 hours, and in that time, it got down to 53% battery. So we can assume that this will power our fridge for about 24 hours. And to further illustrate my point about this power station being able to function as a legit home battery backup solution, I have concocted a hypothetical scenario, one that is guaranteed to put this thing to its test and push it to its absolute limits. Okay, so here's the scenario. You wake up in the morning and you jump in the shower, and just as you are about to get out, the power goes out. And immediately your mind rushes to 2 thoughts, the first of which is, how am I going to dry my hair? And then the second thought, far more horrifying than the first, is how am I supposed to make coffee before I go to work? Because let's face it, you can't deal with those people unless you're properly caffeinated. And it's at about this time that you realize that you happen to have one of these power stations sitting in your closet. And so you bust it out, and along with it, you break out your coffee maker and you launch Operation Caffeination, just like that. However, you have a problem because your coffee is now brewing, but your hair is still wet. And so naturally, you break out your hair dryer. And okay, I gotta pause right here because I've actually not tested this before I'm shooting this video. I don't know if this power station is going to run both of these or not. In fact, the coffee maker alone is already pulling 1,400 watts, and this hair dryer is going to put it well over the 2,400 watt output. But in the name of science, let's fire this up and let's see if this thing can handle both the coffee maker and the hair dryer at the same time. 2,993, we're well over the 2,400 watts, and it's still working. And it's blowing hot air. And coffee is being made. So that's actually really pretty impressive, if I'm honest. Okay, well, that was kind of a fun experiment. I don't know if you could hear me over the sound of the hairdryer and the coffee maker, but that was seriously impressive. Having both of these running at the same time, we were over 3,000 watts that I saw up on the screen. Now remember, this is rated for a 2,400 watt output, but it will allow more than that. Although what I did notice is with the hairdryer, I could tell that it was bringing the power down a little bit. So the hairdryer was not operating at like 100%, but it was still blowing hot air. It was still functioning. It was still working. And to be able to power both a coffee maker and a hairdryer, both of these things draw about 1,500 watts each, and to be powering them both at the same time, that's seriously impressive. So if you live in an area with frequent power outages and you're worried about food spoilage, or you need to be able to power things around your home in the event of a power outage, this makes for a very competent and usable home battery backup. Plus, you can double the capacity with an extra battery, and it can service as a UPS, so you can plug your laptop or your TV or something into it, and if the power shuts off, this will automatically kick on and your devices will stay powered. So that speaks to the incredible versatility of this unit beyond just taking it out on adventure travel. So, is it capable? Absolutely. Is it versatile? Yes. Is it portable? Might be debatable, but I would say yes, it is. But the other thing that this is, despite not being inexpensive, it is an incredible value in my opinion. And part of that value comes from the versatility because you can get multiple uses out of it, as we have discussed. But there are some other reasons that I think this is a tremendous value. And the first one, this is a big deal, and I haven't mentioned it yet, it's the battery technology. This uses lithium iron phosphate batteries. You might not know what that is, but all you need to know is this. Some of the competitors claim that their portable power stations are good for about 500 charge cycles, but because of the battery technology inside of this is good for 3,000 or more charge cycles, which means if you're going to spend the money on this, you're going to invest in it, it will last 5 to 6 times longer potentially than some of the competition that only is good for like 500 charge cycles because they don't use the same battery technology. That is a standout feature. Also worth noting is Anker SOLIX's warranty of 5 years just speaks to the fact that they believe that this is going to last for a very long time, and they back that up with a 5-year warranty, which I think is cool, especially at this price point. And speaking of price point, I mentioned earlier in this video that I had good news on that front as well, and I certainly do. And that is because at the time this video goes live, we will be in the midst of Prime Day. And during Prime Day, Anker SOLIX is offering $600 off an F2000 power station. And so if you are someone that needs the kind of capacity that a power station like this can provide, or you're looking for something super versatile, or you just want the best portable power station that money could buy, then now is probably your best bet to purchase one and save $600 through Prime Day. So be sure to click the link in the description below, and it will take you to a site where you can get that discount through Prime Day. That is, of course, if you jumped on this video right away and it's still Prime Day, but I'm crossing my fingers for you. I hope that's you and you're able to get $600 off. But if not, I think this thing is still worth it even at $19.99. It is an incredible power station. So to summarize, this is an incredibly capable power station that, despite its size, actually is portable. It can power your off-grid adventures almost indefinitely. It's incredibly versatile and can function as a usable home battery backup solution. And with its lithium iron phosphate batteries, it's going to last you a really long time. And so if you are someone who's looking to check all those boxes and you are looking for one of the most premium power stations on the market, then I would say you should jump on this now. Hopefully it's Prime Day still and you can get that $600 off. But either way, this is an incredible premium power station that is absolutely befitting its price. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.